It was in October 1941 when Wonder Woman first burst into the pages of comic books across America, planting those first seeds of gender parity in the minds of young fans, that even in the world of superheroes, a woman can do everything a man can do. And now, a larger-than-life actress is finally giving this 76-year-old superhero her big screen debut. Here's ABC's Chris Conley.
This weekend at movie theaters, the future is finally female. After years in gestation, Wonder Woman has arrived, giving its titular superheroine her time to shine on screen. From her origin story on all-female Paradise Island to bulletproof exploits on the World War I battlefield.
You certainly feel the pressure. This character means so much to so many, and you do feel the weight of the responsibility by portraying her.
Yet it's sweet anticipation for Wonder Woman fans, and for 32-year-old star Gal Gadot.
I feel like I'm standing on the diving board and I'm about to jump the highest jump. It feels like we've been working on this for 3 years, and finally the baby's gonna come out, and it's just, it's not gonna be just me, just mine anymore. It's gonna be everyone's.
5 months pregnant with her second child during the film's reshoots, Gadot, who did 2 years of military service back in her native Israel, says she sought to serve up a Wonder Woman both tender and tough.
I wanted her to be very warm character, very vulnerable and full of hope and love.
But you also kick a lot of,
Yes, I know. I was a dancer for 12 years. I always enjoyed moving around and doing choreographies and expressing myself with my body. Fighting is awesome, especially when you do it, on such a big set with horses and with, all the rest of the women that were there with me, or men.
Or men. As the flying ace she rescues, who leads her into early 20th century life.
That's not gonna work. Please put the sword down.
And up to the front line. Chris Pine gets that this film has offered him insight into how the other half lives in Hollywood.
And you have to come out of the grotto and do a lot of the things that we've seen women in your position having to do over the years, yeah?
Yeah, it's putting myself into a position where I'm objectified. I guess the novelty of it, I didn't mind it so much. I was like, well, screw it, it's about time,
Though she's spent more than 3/4 of a century in the comics, as both an object of male fantasy and as a proto-feminist Ms. Magazine cover subject, Wonder Woman's been best known by her TV series incarnation from the 1970s, as played for 3 seasons by the universally beloved Lynda Carter. She shared her affection for the character back in 2005 with ABC News.
I gotta tell you, I loved Wonder Woman too. I read the comic books and I got to play her. I mean, how cool is that?
Women are the wave of the future, and sisterhood is stronger than anything.
We were building the bridges for young girls today. They were going to be in a world where it was okay to be smart, okay to be beautiful, okay to be feminine, okay to be strong, okay to be athletic.
Thanked in the feature film's end credits, Carter and her performance were positive influences on Wonder Woman's director, Patty Jenkins.
What were the core values that Wonder Woman had that you were an advocate for as you set out to make your movie?
I wanted her to not be a female superhero. She's a great superhero. And so the values were the balance, the goodness, the kindness, the positivity that she has always had and was created with, and Lynda Carter had done such a beautiful job of embodying.
It's Jenkins who conjures up a landscape populated solely by woman warriors. Robin Wright and Gladiator's Connie Nielsen among them.
The most challenging thing that I did in this entire movie was tone. A fantasy world to a period piece to a historical war context, which was surprising reality with a little bit of pop that made it feel like it lived up to the great graphic novels, superhero genre, comic books.
I met with Patty Jenkins before there was really even a script. What she explained to me, which I really enjoyed, was that she wanted to surreptitiously, she wanted to make Casablanca. She wanted to make a big old-fashioned romance under the guise of a superhero film. And she was giving leeway to do that.
The costuming of its lead, first seen in Batman vs. Superman. And due to turn up in such future films with DC comic characters as Justice League, was key to her appeal.
Shall we? Just by wearing it and looking into the mirror, it's like it hits you. Oh, okay. All right, so now I gotta play up to it. I had like 7 or 10 different costumes for this movie. One is shinier, one is softer, one is heavier. So, yeah, not that one.
The costume.
That's the comfy one.
That's the comfy one?
Exactly.
Comfy, since Wonder Woman was shot during the dead of English winter.
She took being Wonder Woman incredibly seriously, and she would never let us down. And so if that meant she alone was running across a field in a Wonder Woman suit while I was wearing a snowsuit designed for the climbers of Everest, true fact, she would do it.
It's true. Red, big, puffy coat, onesie. That's what she wore. What I wore, you're asking? Oh, not much.
The same audience members whose hearts leapt to see Daisy Ridley wield a lightsaber in Star Wars The Force Awakens.
A battle will never be fair.
They find Wonder Woman giving them some long-awaited moments of thrills and exhilaration.
We saw it in 3D, and I don't like 3D. I'm not a big 3D fan.
You look pretty good in 3D right now.
This 3D, once Nightline goes to 3D, we know it's the end of the world. Please don't do that, my God. So the 3D was great, but I'm telling you, there was this like collective, palpable shift in the audience, especially when Gal comes out of the trenches and it's that like slow-mo shot. It was incredible, incredible.
I was stunned by the audience reaction. It was mind-blowing.
It could be the fulfillment of a dream at Starhead, well before she was cast.
There's a big lack of true, real representation of women on film. Because usually we're the damsel in distress, we're the sidekick, we need to be rescued by the guy, and it's not the way it is in real life. In real life, women, we bring life. Little did I know that I'm gonna land this role soon after.
For Nightline, Chris Connolly, ABC News, Los Angeles.